Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play a threshold deck that we discovered out there in the wild on mtgdecks.net. And this deck is sometimes referred to as Groatog, even though it doesn't have the card Psychotog in it. But it does have a lot of other cards that kind of are similar in that they get bigger by casting spells and doing things. So for this particular deck, we have 19 lands. There are 4 City of Brass and 2 Gemstone Mine, mostly to cast our sideboard cards or to help cast those, because we also have Mox Diamonds that can tap for any color. But the Mox Diamonds, of course, are usually more for just acceleration. But so we have 6 of those cards of multiple mana cards. There's 4 copies of Flooded Strand to be able to search up our islands, and the one of Plains, which is only used for a few cards, but we can also get white from the diamonds and the brass and the gemstone mines, so shouldn't be a problem to hit swords to plowshares and Armageddons or whatever else we need. So 19 lands is pretty low to the ground, but we do have the diamonds, and it's fairly low to the ground deck for the most part. There is a couple 4 CMC cards that you have to cast, but that's the top end. So I think it should work. It's a little tight on mana, but we'll see how the games go. So as I mentioned, in the 0 drop slot, we do have Mox Diamond to try to accelerate early in the game. We have 3 copies of Swords to Plowshares for removal. There's 1 copy of Mental Note, a 1 blue instant that says mill 2 cards and draw a card. And this just helps to fuel our threshold creatures. 4 copies of Portent to be able to set up what we're looking to do with our cards and creatures. And speaking of cards and creatures, we have 4 copies of Nibble Mongoose, 1 green 1/1 with Shroud, can't be the target of spells or abilities by either player. And when it gets to threshold, it gets +2/+2 and becomes a 3/3 as long as there's 7 or more cards in your graveyard. At the 2 drop slot, we have a singleton copy of Disenchant, 4 copies of Accumulated Knowledge to keep our hand full as we move through the game. It's always a good idea to do that for decks that are, it's kind of an aggro-y, mid-rangey sort of control-y. It's kind of somewhere in the middle of there. But on the aggro side for the creatures and so forth, it's always good to have some card draw to keep the fight going as the game goes on, instead of running out of gas. There's 2 copies of Daze for some early counter magic. There's 4 copies of Counterspell. And these cards here are going to be useful at instant speed when we have our creatures out. So when the Nibble Mongoose is out and we're accumulating knowledge and putting stuff in the graveyard, we're counterspelling with Aquarian Dryad in play, for example. Werebears, same thing, gets bigger. So these cards all kind of feed into the whole concept of the creatures getting bigger as the game goes on, while at the same time providing good value in countering or cantripping or whatever. So but anyway, so that's kind of the stock of the blue 2 drops there with the Daze, Accumulated Knowledge, and Counterspell. We do have 2 copies of Aquarian Dryad, as I mentioned. And it's a 1/1 creature for 2. It says whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So basically, anytime you cast anything but a green spell, or an artifact, of course. So it is very specific on the colors. But for us, it's going to be mostly blue and white, and then the additional green spells, we won't get it, but it'll trigger on anything else that is one of those other colors. So those can grow quick. The Aquarian Dryad can grow big very quickly, is what I'm trying to say. This has been, a card for these type of decks for a long time. It's kind of the original, I guess you might say, for this type of effect, where in like Legacy and so forth, I think there were some decks that used this with a bunch of the like free spells and stuff, to where it can get big very quickly. 2 copies for this deck, so we'll see how that goes. There's 3 copies of Werebear, similar. It's 2 mana, 1/1, and it's also a mana dork to produce green mana. But when it's not producing mana and it grows up, once we get enough cards in the graveyard to 7, it becomes a 4/4 beater. So kind of a cool card where it's good early and good late. There's 2 copies of Armageddon. As you guys are probably aware, if you're pre-modern fans, Armageddons do kind of show up in different types of decks here and there. Mostly, like in this deck here, if we have the small creatures are out there and we are ahead on the battlefield with creatures, and our creatures are bigger than the opponents, a well-timed Armageddon can pretty much mean game to destroy all of their resources, where we still have beaters and potentially other mana sources or whatnot to do that. In addition to that, we also have 3 copies of Gush, which can return 2 islands you control to owner's hand. So we do have 8 islands, and of course, at the right time, playing the deck, and depending on the situation, we could certainly Gush, tap 2 islands for blue mana, for example, Gush, bring them back to our hand, and then tap out with a white source and any other source for 4 mana, and Armageddon, screwing the opponent, and then we have at least 2 lands that we brought back to our hand that we can continue to play. So that's kind of a neat little combo there with those 2 cards. Then there's also 3 copies of Fire Ice, just to get a little bit of tempo or removal depending on the situation. And then, as I mentioned, with kind of the higher CMC cards here, there's 2 copies of Mystic Enforcer. This is a 3/3 for 4, so 2 generic, a green and a white, for a human nomad mystic, and it's protection from black, which can help depending on the situation. And its threshold, it says as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, this creature gets +3/+3 and has flying. So 6/6 flyer to close out the game is pretty strong. So we're kind of working towards that as we move through the games. So that's the main deck. In the sideboard, we have a couple of utility artifacts here with Winter Orb and Sabo's Web to shut down lands of particular types or to get a tempo advantage like Winter Orb. There's 1 copy of Annul to counter an artifact or enchantment spell. There's 2 Hydroblasts to fight against red. So mostly the burn decks or what have you. A couple of copies of Phyrexian Furnace for a little bit of graveyard hate. And then we have 3 copies of Meddling Mage that we can bring in depending on the matchup. If there's something that we're playing against that's more of a combo deck, like the Angry Hermits or whatever, that's where this would come into play to help, help hopefully shut down their combos is pretty much the idea with the Meddling Mage. 2 copies of Pyroclasm for low-to-the-ground creature decks that might be a little faster than we are before we're able to get set up. So there's just a couple of those. There's 1 Disenchant to go with the main deck one. And then finally 2 copies of Engineered Plague that can hit like goblins and elves and stuff like that. So that's the deck. Again, this was found out in the wild. This won a small tournament somewhere out there. And so we're going to bring it into the larger fold and see if we can see what we can do in a league. Okay, starting with match 1, we're going to be on the play. Looks like we can't keep a no land hand, so we'll have to mulligan that. This is a little bit better. We have a Gemstone Mine to help get out the Quirion Dryad and the Werebear. Got a couple more lands, so it looks pretty good, so we'll keep this. And what are we putting back? Probably put back the counter spell. If we really need to counter early, we can use the days, I guess. So turn 2, I think we'll probably play Werebear first, but okay, so we'll just play the island and pass. Opponent's on Windswept Heath. Going to play a Mother of Runes. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and play the Quirion Dryad first. Since we have lands and we don't necessarily need this as a mana dork, as it were. There's probably an argument for dazing the Mother of Runes, but I don't know. It might be better here to put a +1 counter on the Dryad. Survival of the Fittest, yeah, I would rather do that anyway, so... I mean, the Mother of Runes can block for right now, but there will come a time when they won't be able to, so... I think it's a good tempo play. Okay. All right, so we'll play this Werebear out. We're going to go ahead and attack just to get them to tap down the Mother. We're just going to kind of make that a normal thing. Because when she taps down, she's vulnerable. If they don't want to take the 2 points of damage, they can certainly block and tap. Just depends on how they want to play it. Okay, if they choose to do that, that's fine. They're not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game decision. Like it. Yep. Okay. So just to keep them thinking, and then we'll go ahead and play this Werebear and pass back. Opponent's got a Wasteland for the Gemstone Mine. It's not the end of the world, but looks like they want to keep it available for mana for right now. Plus the Gemstone Mine only has one more counter on it anyway, so it makes sense. Yeah, so we'll just keep attacking. And yeah, let's just do it like that. Sure. So on one of these turns, if we have a Plowshare available or something like that, we can hit it when it's down, because they become a problem more later in the game. All right, so we'll pass, and then we'll fetch for the one of Plains here on their end step. Opponent looks to be on Madness here. Okay, kind of flooding out a little bit here, so I think we're just going to have to pass. We don't really have anything we can do right now, and with both, with two blockers, it's not going to be quite the same, so we'll just pass. Okay. helps a little bit. So I think we'll go to combat this time. They can either discard a card, or they can give the tribe protection. Just kind of depends on which way they're going to go with it. So they're going to discard the Arrogant Worm. Okay. Sure. Makes Tireless Tribe a 1/5. They can block. And let's see here. I think what we can probably do here is go ahead and fire the worm. Well, no, we can't do that because it's a mother. So I think they tricked us there on just the, you know, the madness part of it, which is fine. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I guess, Yeah, that's actually too bad. I guess I should have bounced or tapped that first. That was just a mistake. Man, that's just unfortunate. Wow, that's bad. Okay. Yeah, man, that just turned out to be kind of a disaster there. So, okay. So instead, since we screwed up there, we'll just tap the Arrogant Worm at the beginning of combat. Just an unfortunate misplay. Trying to do better, but I am not a pro player. that you guys have probably figured out by now. This guy makes a lot of mistakes. Trying to get better. Seeing an awful lot of lands. Okay, another tribe. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be kind of hard to fight through for sure. Oh man, that would be good if we were in the right, situation, but we're definitely not. Yeah, this is bad. All right, so we'll just pass and do nothing, I guess. Let's say if they are Armageddon, it's much better. It's worship. Okay. Well, we do have a disenchant for that, so. Yep. Not very good, huh? Yep, not very good. So just pass and tap down their creature. Feels pretty bad. Basking Rootwalla joins the party. Okay. They are going to get in there, so I think we will block. They can give it protection. It's not really going to matter a whole lot other than... Actually, you know what? There's no point in blocking. I'm just not going to block. Yep. Okay. All right. Next turn. Okay, so we definitely need some help, that's for sure. We're kind of struggling. Let's portent. None of that seems very helpful, so I'm going to shuffle those up. And I guess we'll just pass and leave this disenchant up for the worship, I guess. Opponent's going to play Enlightened Tutor, okay. Sterling Grove gives their enchantments Shroud, so we'll probably disenchant the worship in response. That's probably how we want to do that. Okay, and there's a counterspell too, so... Okay, so we actually don't have a good block here because of the Mother of Runes, so we're just going to have to take 4. Mule's bad, man. I don't see the benefit of killing the worship right now, so... Oh, man, I tell you, this is just so bad. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really even know what we're waiting on. Like, I don't know what's really going to help us. Sorry about that. Get this out of the way. Didn't mean to have that there. Just trying to look to see what... Oh my god, are you serious? Okay, I don't see a way out of this game, honestly. So we'll just have to see what happens, but it's not looking good. Engineered Plague on human seems good. Probably going to do that on game 2. But I'm just looking at our deck, and we just don't have anything to interact with them at all. Like, nothing. So I might have to... Oh my god. Yeah, let's draw a land. That'll help. Wow, this is just so bad. I guess we'll let it go one more turn, but we can't keep this freak show going here. This is just terrible. Survival of the fittest. Okay. I mean, we'll attempt to disenchant that, but I don't think we can win the game, actually, with this card on the battlefield. Because I don't think we can ever kill all of their creatures. Yeah, I think they got it. I think we're just gonna have to pack it in. We just don't have anything to fight against what they're doing at all, like nothing. So we're just gonna concede and see what we have on the sideboard side of things. Because man, that was bad. Okay, so we have Engineered Plague. I think is very good. We have the additional Disenchant. Maybe the Annul. And then, not really sure how good Pyroclasm is. Probably not that great. So, Armageddons don't seem great. I'll take out one. Mental Note. Maybe a Daze. And maybe one Counterspell. See if that does any better. At least it gives us like actual outs that can help, like Engineered Plague. All right, nothing good there. Mulligan. And boy, we're just really, I mean, we have an early Portent to try to dig for lands and an early Swords to Plowshare, but that's all, and that's kind of risky, but I don't want to go to 5, so we're going to keep. Probably don't need to have the Disenchant early on. So I think that's what we'll put back. And don't get me wrong, even for 6, this is a risky keep. It's just that going to 5, your win percentage drops a lot, and then when it goes to 4, it basically falls off a cliff. So I'm gonna try to make this work given the cantrip, but it's not good. that's for sure. So okay, let's see if we can hopefully find some lands. So that's one land and a Portent, which is probably going to be good enough. So we'll say okay. And we'll say Gush on top, Portent, and then Gemstone Mine at the top. And not use Portent's ability and pass. Risky business, folks. Risky business. You can see why Ponder's better, because I would have been able to draw that card and play my land for the turn, but instead. Okay, so we should be able to fire the Root Walla. The other line is to Portent and then hold up the ice to draw cards, because we kind of need to get lands. That's probably better. So let's go ahead and Portent. Plus we have a Plowshare if it has an emergency button. Those are just not going to work, so we're going to shuffle. And we'll play our land, and we'll pass. And we don't need to Plowshare this thing right away, but we'll kind of see what they play next and how the game develops. There's a land. Good to see. Opponent's going to get in for 3. Most likely. It's fine. I don't want to waste the Swords to Plowshare just yet. They have a lot of creatures of varying degrees, so I just want to kind of keep that in my pocket right now. We don't have a lot of cards in hand, so it's another Portent, so that's looking good. Okay, so then we can Portent and we can fire the Root Walla. Leaves them with 5 cards in hand. Let's start on Portent. Still looking for lands mostly. Man. Yeah, I think I gotta shuffle it up. I just don't think we can take those cards. And then let's go ahead and fire. It's tempting to fire that now. Actually, you know what? No. Let's keep up the counterspell. We still have the Swords to Plowshares for the Basking Root Wallet. We don't need to use fire yet, especially if we can find a way to get 2 for 1 would be even better. So Armageddon, not great in this matchup. Imagine they're probably going to go in for 3 again here. Would make sense. We could do it when they, in response to their mana, and it's tempting, but I don't think we're going to do that, so. All right. There's a Werebear. It's helpful for sure. So let's go ahead and get that down. It's a mana rock, or a mana dork as well. It's getting bigger as the game goes on. We'll keep this Swords to Plowshares up. We're at 14 life. We don't want to take too many hits from that Root Wallet, so there will be a point in time when we're going to have to fire off the Swords to Plowshares. Probably not this turn, but definitely the next time. We don't really want to go below 10. So Wasteland kind of sucks. We might have to Plowshare in response just to get some value out of that. Yeah, it's not really what we want to see right now. Wasteland, kind of a bad Wild Mongrel. Sure. That's definitely a better Plowshare target. Okay. So we'll take our beats here. And we don't really want to go too much lower, so opponent's going to do that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and Plowshare the Wild Mongrel. They might be able to madness something there. I'm not sure. Maybe another Root Wallet or something. Okay, so they dump a Squee. Okay. All right, well, I'd like to play the Quirion Dryad, but I'm actually going to try to, I think I'm going to kill the Root Wallet. Gets us another card in our graveyard. And the other argument is to play this now, and then, I mean, destroying that land definitely hurt, because we got 6 cards in our... Yeah, let's do that. I think we got to try to maybe turn the tide here just a touch with that, so... Let's fire that. That'll give us threshold, and we'll go ahead and get in for 4. All right. Well, next turn we'll try to get the Dryad down and keep moving along here. Kind of a interesting sort of low resource game here so far. I mean, I feel like we're still kind of disadvantaged here. Fighting the uphill battle. Opponent's got another land. They're going to pass. That's interesting. Okay, another Werebear. That's actually not the worst thing to see. Probably want to keep up this counter spell for right now, and just keep beating with the Werebear until something materially changes in the game. Plus, we just don't have any lands, so... Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll counter that. It's a good tempo play for us. have really liked to see a land there, but I think we're going to get down the second werebear and try to keep the beats going. We can accumulate knowledge later on, but right now I want to kind of press the advantage, so wish we would be drawing lands, but unfortunately we're not, so we're definitely at a huge disadvantage this game. Opponent seems to have the opposite problem. They got plenty of lands. It also does give us mana to potentially just do this Armageddon right now. That's also another line that seems reasonable. We're taking a turn off, but I think it effectively wins the game for us if it resolves, though. I mean, yeah, 6-1 lands. I think we're going to do it. It might seem ridiculous, but I think it might actually work out for us. So we'll see. So while they're rebuilding, we're just beating them for 8 every turn? Yeah, I figured that might do it. Okay, cool. Okay, well, that Armageddon was good there, but that's the one spot where it's actually doing something good. Trying to think if there's anything else that's going to be helpful. I think we're just going to run it back. Like I said, that was just a unique situation that Armageddon was helpful there for us. All right, it's game 3 here. It's like a pretty good start. We're probably getting rid of the island, I guess, for the Smox Diamond. Then play Werebear. Turn 1 Werebear. So there's a Mother of Runes. Be nice to kill that, that's for sure. Speaking of, I think that's going to be better than first turn Werebear. We're just going to kill the Mother of Runes now. Not sure how popular that's going to be among the cool kids, but it's just kind of a critical card, so yeah, we're just going to kill it now while we can. And then next turn, get the Werebear down, and we'll have our Counterspell and our Disenchant up. See what else we can draw into. Opponent's got a Tireless Tribe, okay. Accumulated Knowledge looking pretty good. Wasteland just waiting to hit this Gemstone Mine. Of course, Wasteland for Gemstone Mine, not the greatest exchange, I guess. But yeah, let's do that. So we'll go ahead and tap this for green. Play our Werebear and pass the turn. Okay, opponent wants to make the exchange, which makes a lot of sense to me. I know I would do it. Does put us in a tough spot, though. Opponent's going to get in there for a point of damage. Or not. Okay. Huh, no land drop from the opponent. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just sit back on this Counterspell and perhaps accumulated knowledge at the end of their turn, depending on what their play is. Opponent missing a second land drop? Wow. No madness cards? Interesting. Okay. Portent looks pretty good here. Another land looks good. So yeah, we'll just Portent and leave up this counterspell. Opponent's really struggling on lands. I think we'll keep those. Let's go with top, and that way we have counterspells for their next two plays. Oh my god, I clicked yes. Oh. Well, never mind. That was just a mistake. So frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to say. That was just irritating, to say the least. Yeah, I just misclicked. I mean, what else can I say? I'm gonna counterspell this. God, it's frustrating. Puts our werebear at 4. But yeah, man, it's irritating. Had this set up with another counterspell and 2 lands, and then just shuffled it all away. It's just, I mean, oh wow, pyrokinesis. Okay. All right, so our random card is accumulated knowledge. Not the worst thing to see. Okay. Okay, we'll play that. And then we're just going to accumulated knowledge and keep moving forward here. I am a little irritated by not being able to put pressure on them right now when they're struggling. And now they're coming, yeah, now they're just in the game. So our window of opportunity passed by with that one plains that was in play for like 3 turns. That was when we needed to be doing something. Instead, we're just now not doing anything. Taking damage. That's what we're doing. Okay. Swords to Plowshare. Actually pretty good right here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use it now because the tribe is a madness trigger, and it's just a problematic card all the way around. So I'm just going to try to get rid of it. Sure. Yep. That's fine. That would have happened anyway, so. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Counterspell, not looking very good right here. Well, we kind of need some help, so I'm going to have to accumulate knowledge main phase. Not my favorite thing to do, but oh, that's actually well timed. Let's just get that thing out of there. See you later. We can hold up an annul for something that they might have. Don't know what that might be. We have days too, so. Sorry, I didn't realize my phone was not silenced. There's a lot of little things to watch for when you're trying to record. Okay, declare attackers. I don't see any reason to gush right here. We're just going to try to see what we can put together. Well, that's not great, but it's not bad either. So we'll Portent. Got to find some action. That's action, so we'll keep those, and we'll just go. Yeah, we kind of want the creatures, so we get a 3/3 there. Use portent's ability? No. And we'll pass. We've got days up. We could even gush because our creatures are cheap. I kind of want to counterspell that. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get this Nimble Mongoose down and see if it can start doing some damage for us. And the Korean Dryad as well. So Mongoose down, Korean Dryad down, and we've got protection. So every spell we cast that's not green, we can make it bigger. So okay, now we got some beaters. We'll see if we can get these guys to take us home here. Opponent's got Warship. We'll go ahead and counter that. Now our deck's starting to cook. This is what we want to be doing. Okay. Now I think we're going to gush, so we can draw some cards and get an extra counter on the Korean Dryad. Okay, looks good. All right, let's go ahead and go to town here. I'm going to hold back the Nimble Mongoose just because if they have Wrath of God, that would be really bad. We have days, of course, but I just want to be careful. So that's one way we can lose the game, and I wanted to just try to be mindful of that. Okay, let's play. We may deploy another creature. Yeah, I think we will. I know it's kind of pushing it, but we do want to make sure that we can put them away, so. Wild Mongrel. Okay. They have 3 cards in hand. That's pretty good to see. So let's go ahead and go to combat here. And I realize they can block, but we're still going to be getting damage in. They have to discard cards to make the Mongrel big enough to kill like the Dryad or the Mongoose. And we can probably play this Mystic Enforcer. Let's see, they're still taking 7. They discard the Squee. Discard a Cave-In. Okay. Okay. And then let's go ahead and play this Mystic Enforcer here. Green. And as long as they don't have Wrath of God and land, they'd have to have exactly those two cards to get around the days, and we should be okay. So okay, good deal. All right, sounds good. We'll get on to match 2 here. Okay, let's jump into match 2 here. Going to be on the play. And we don't have a functional hand, so I have to mulligan. It's not going to work either. Have to go to 5. And we'll try to live on these portents, I guess. Getting rid of the gush. And probably the counterspell. So we'll just be portenting for lands, it looks like. I'll just leave those on top. And let's see here. Top, top, top. Mog Fanatic. Let's accumulated knowledge at end of turn. We could portent again, but we know what our next card is, so accumulated knowledge is just going to draw that card. Flooded Strand. Opponent's playing red and black. Interesting. Okay, probably goblins. All right, so let's portent. And we got lands now, so we need to look for okay. Any order. Use portent's ability, yes. And we'll just play a Flooded Strand to pass turn. Got a Mox Diamond. Go grab our one of planes out of the deck. Opponent's going to duress. Okay. I don't know if it really helps us to plowshare the Mog Fanatic because it's just going to hit us for a point of damage. Yeah. Marginal. Then they can take the Mox Diamond, and that's not really that big of a deal, so. Yep. Okay. Disenchant. Interesting. Okay. Pass back. Gonna need some action soon. Of course, we don't have any green mana to cast our creatures. Siege Gang Commander, okay. That's going to be a problem. Wow. right, we'll pass. And take our beats. Looking at a minimum of 5 here. Boy, how good does it feel to be the Goblin team and just uninterrupted, full-blown attack with mana up. That's got to be the dream. We're just top decking. Oh boy. Okay, well that's certainly not great. But I think we're going to do that main phase. Because we got to find something to help us. Nimble Mongoose is better than nothing. So we'll mental note. And draw a card. Okay. And I guess we'll play out the Werebear so we can use the mana. Alright, pass the turn. I don't know that we'll get another turn, actually. So they can just kill the Werebear if they want. Or they have options. Skeletal Scrying, okay. Fire Covenant for 4. And I think we're just dead. Okay. All right, that was pretty painful. Okay, well, we're definitely bringing in the Engineered Plagues, the Pyroclasms. Don't think we needed this Disenchant. I think that's pretty much it. It's just these creature fighting spells. So what are we taking out? Probably the Armageddons. I don't think those are going to be very effective. And then this mental note, I guess. Try it like that. Okay. It's not very good. We can start on a Portent, maybe daze something and see if we can get some lands. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look great, that's for sure. Yeah, let's mulligan. That was very close. Man, this still is not very good. But we're going to keep it based on, excuse me, based on the engineered plague. So we'll keep and dump a Mystic Enforcer, I guess. No lands. Okay. Hopefully we'll draw a land, because if we don't, we're in trouble. That's a land. That's helpful. Hopefully he doesn't have duress, but he does. So there goes the engineered plague. Oh, man, it's rough. Well, we got one more, so see if we can find it. Not great. I think I'm going to play the Mox Diamond just because the Gemstone Mine isn't going to be around very long. So we'll do that in Portent. There's one land. Kind of crappy though. So it kind of doesn't matter what we do here. All right, well, we'll just pass. Leave up the Swords to Plowshares. Or no, I didn't put that on top. I put the land on top. We'll be able to draw it next turn. Okay. Burning Wish, okay. What are they going to get? Buried Alive, okay. We've got some goblins. I guess they're doing graveyard stuff too. It's interesting. Maybe it's a sideboard plan. Not real sure. Okay, well, I guess we'll pass. I think the fire side is more viable than the ice side in this game. Bloodstained Mire. Opponent cast Buried Alive. Let's see if they switched into some type of reanimator plan, or is this like a goblins / reanimator, or just they have like unearths, or yeah, okay. Makes sense. Okay. I think I need to go get white, even though we have the diamond, because we have multiple colors in hand, so. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess we're just going to play this Mystic Enforcer here and see if it can help us do anything. It's protection from black, so there's that, at least. See if opponents I'm interested to see how they're getting the siege gangs on the battlefield. I mean, reanimate, I guess, just straight up 5 life and put it on the battlefield for a black. Not real sure. They also put Mog bombers. Opponent kind of in the tank here. And not sure what the holdup is. Let's see if we can get past this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Another Burning Wish. Okay. Shainer's Edict. Oh, well, yeah, that'll kill. Okay. All right. Opponent's got the answer for everything so far. Okay. Not the worst thing to see. Leave up Plowshare and or Ice. Phyrexian Furnace is kind of annoying, but opponent's got plenty of mana, that's for sure. Gloom. Wow, that's really good. Yeah, sure. Seems pretty good. Okay. City of Brass. Not great. Trying to leave the spells up for, you know, something that makes a difference in the game instead of just putting a counter on this guy. Animate Dead on the Siege Gain Commander, sure. Okay. We'll go ahead and fire the Siege Gain Commander. Opponent actually has a response. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wow. Okay. Good move. All right. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. It was a good play. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll just sit here and do nothing, I guess. Okay. I forgot the Siege Gang Commander can sacrifice himself. Okay, this is just terrible, so we'll just see what happens, I guess. Maybe we'll see a Pyroclasm someday, who knows. Right now taking 3 a turn, which ain't great. That helps. That helps. Yeah, let's go ahead and pyroclasm. Just sweep up these weenies that are ruining our day. All right, now the opponent has to come up with something else. They got nothing. All right, hopefully we can start drawing into something that'll help us. Yeah, that's helpful. Can't say it's not. So probably going to just do a hard cast on that. All right, hard cast gush it is. Wow, we have the most expensive swords to plowshares ever seen to mankind. And we'll pass back. Mog Fanatic. Oh, sorry, Mog Maniac. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Okay, sure. Portent. There's a couple werebears, so we definitely need that. So let's put those on top. All right, pass turn. See if they have some trickery for the Mog Fanatic, or Mog Maniac. Yeah, Mog Maniac. Okay. All right, take 1 point of damage. Opponent's got duress. Okay. Well, I mean, it's definitely not good. I still have a Swords to Plowshare I can use. Yeah, I'm just going to counterspell that, actually. The counterspell isn't doing anything else right now, so we have plenty of creature removal. So they're going to Pyroblast. Sure. You got it. Have a Swords to Plowshares. Got plenty of them. And I think I'll go ahead and use this now. It feels kind of bad to do this, but with hand disruption, we got to use our resources. Okay, let's get our werebears down and see if they can help us do anything. I thought I already tapped 2. Somehow I didn't. Okay. All right. Okay. Goblin Tinkerer. All right. It's a strange deck we're playing against here. All right, pass back to the opponent. Opponent's got 10 mana available. That's another Burning Wish. Okay. Living Death. What does that do? Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacks all creatures they control, then puts... Oh. So it's basically Living End. Okay. There's not really anything we can do about that, so... And I guess we're dead from this. Let's see, wait. Yeah. This kills us. Whenever another creature enters, sacrifice this creature. There's 1 Mog Bomber and 2 Siege Gang Commanders. Okay. So how does that work? He already sacrificed this, but you still get the triggers? Wow, learn something new every day. Okay. Oh, man, that was wow, what a bad match that was. Okay, we'll go to match 3. All right, match 3. I tell you, trying to learn this format's been a real struggle for me. For a closed format, it's surprising how many things there are. Like that deck that we just played against, a lot of those cards I've never seen before or hadn't seen in a long time. Like Chainer's Edict, I know what that does. Siege Gang Commanders, Mog Bombers or whatever. Didn't really understand that card. Obviously that's pretty good though with that combo with the Living Death. But yeah, okay, so let's start on Mox Diamond. We'll dump one of these islands. Go ahead and Portent. Oops, sorry. Okay, there's the Dryad, so we want to see that. So we'll say top, top, top. But I'm surprised at the variety of Premodern. There's so many decks and there's so many cards that I'm trying to learn. But boy, it's a learning curve for sure. It's going to take some time. And opponent's got Duress. Does Dazing It help? It protects our Gush. Yeah, why not? That's what the extra mana does, helps us there. Okay. Get this Quirion Dryad down. And pass back. Sure, that Gush was just not meant to be. Okay, Swords Plowshares. All right, so we got nothing. Okay, probably just draw a card with that, I think. Not great. I'm getting a little tired of the duresses. And sure, you got her days. Congratulations. Okay, well, that's actually good to see. It's protection from black, so hopefully it's at threshold, so that's pretty good. That can block a 4/5 lifelink angel, so. Meddling Mage, alright. What are we naming? Accumulated knowledge, okay. Okay, well, let's start going to town here. I know they gain 2 more life if they morph the angel, but I'm going to hold the swords to plowshares because if they sink resources into it, I think it's a better play, so. Opponent going aggro with 11 life. Okay. Swords to plowshares. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go to combat. And we got a counterspell and a counterspell and a prayer here. It's only got 1 card in hand, and they've got a meddling mage on the battlefield, so we're definitely in the superior position here. We should hopefully be able to make short work of them. Get that out of there. Okay, Mystic Enforcer, trying to go the distance. Pass turn. We can fade one draw step here. Yes. Okay. Seems to be kind of another one of those just sort of unpredictable decks. So it's not super clear to me what to change between this deck and the last deck we played. It just I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is and submit deck. Just try to do our thing before they can do their thing. We got lots of counter spells, lots of cantrips. We got some removal, and you know, I mean, if we can get down some, it'd be nice to get down some early creatures. That would kind of be a good thing. We've been kind of struggling on getting our lands and so forth. All right, opponents on the play. We can start off with Mox Diamond Island and do accumulated knowledge. So we'll keep. If they have the duress, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, man, that's the most duressing deck I've ever played against. So, I mean, I think you take the Mox Diamond. Yeah, okay. Well, day's no longer a surprise, so that's too bad. So we are going to be accumulating some knowledge here. So opponent playing around the days. It's pretty easy peasy stuff. Accumulated knowledge, draw a card. Werebear's good to see, but we really need lands. Boy. Well, I mean, let's try to... So we have a couple different things we can do here. Yeah, actually, no, I'm going to just accumulate knowledge. We really need to try to hit a land drop here. It's very important. Well, never mind. Mother of Runes. Okay. Really need a land here. Come on. Huh. Yikes. Well, I'm just kind of in a lot of trouble, I guess. Just desperate for lands. Yeah, it's a little late for that. Frustrating. Okay. Pass back. See, this is the problem with Duress and why Duress is a great card. You can just play around days all day long. No worries. So opponent knows about Daze and Disenchant, but nothing else. Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Okie doke. Okay, starting to see some lands finally. It's not super clear what to do here. I want to play the Werebear, but that takes our counter spells offline. And I think I'm going to go ahead and rely on those right now to try to get through the next few turns and build up this mongoose. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have played this. I was thinking I was gonna have to use blue, but no, I had the mana. Potentially we could also fire though, so there is that. I really want to block, but okay. All right. It's good to see. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this werebear down. Pass back. Counterspell that. Swords to plowshares. I wish we could do something about that, but we can't. So we could daze. It makes the nimble mongoose a little bit bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6. Doesn't quite get us there though. And we can't block that thing anyway, so wouldn't have mattered. It's got fear. But we're losing the war right now, that's for sure. Meddling mage. Yeah, it's just frustrating. Those days is worthless. I'm just gonna play it. Just to get it in the graveyard. The only card they know about is Disenchant, so I'm not sure what they're going to name here. Counterspell, that's pretty good. I don't think they've seen these counterspells, but that was a super good name for sure. Wow. Okay, well, Boy, I tell you, we're just in trouble all over the place. This sucks. We could try to mess with them. Just thinking about icing this. They can give it protection. It puts the Mother of Runes at risk. Could gush, but I'm not sure if that's just feels desperate. But he's just drawing a card every turn, and it's just kind of ridiculous. Man, I swear. We're just going to lose the game because of that card. It's drawn 3 or 4 cards now. Just unimpeded. Okay. Wonder if we should... Yeah, I think we're going to do this. Do it this way to leave some mana up to see if we can draw into just anything that helps. That's not... Not helpful. Wow. Not getting better. Alright, we're just going to have to start. If we ice the infiltrator, it doesn't do much for us, really. We can't block it, so we might as well just attack. They're not going to block anyway. Yeah, this game's just kind of over with, actually. I just don't see how we're going to come back. We're just kind of in a lot of pain, a lot of trouble. Just doesn't feel like that there's... Just didn't feel like we have much agency right now. We're just kind of sucking. They're just doing the same thing every time, and it's just... See, we can't... It's so frustrating. The Mother of Runes just makes it... This game's won. This card has won the game for them. I kind of feel like conceding because this is just ridiculous, and we're just not making any progress here. All right, well, I'm just going to take a chance that I just don't know. Wow, this is just the worst. It's embarrassing, it's frustrating, it's not going anywhere. We're just getting picked apart. I mean, there's just... Wow. How incredibly bad. Okay. Whole lot of nothing. Getting beat down by a Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Oh, and there's the Swords to Plowshares that we needed the whole time that we were holding on to the Fire Ice for. Oh my god, I swear. Finally. Okay. Well, that's step one. I have a feeling it's not going to matter a whole lot. God. What a joke. Wow, this has been the absolute worst game ever. You know what? I'm just going to concede. This game's just going nowhere. We just got nothing. They beat us a long time ago. Man. Engineered plague on human, I guess. We're kind of desperate here. Pyroclasms? I don't know. The only thing in our favor right now is that we'll be on the play. But that's really all we got going on, so... It's not a great hand, but with their duresses, we're just going to have to keep it as bad as it is. First turn duress every game. Okay, well, for once. Alright, well, we'll get our creature out there and just see if we can do anything at all, so... Easy peasy. Mesmeric Fiend. When this enters, target opponent reveals their hand and you choose a non-land card from an exile that card. Let's leave the battlefield, exile card. Okay. So, I guess we can fire it, but he gets information. Saves our counterspell. Reveals the Armageddon. I think we'll just counterspell it. That gives us the option to ice and draw a card because we still need lands, so... And preserves the information here. I could gush here, draw 2 cards. Kind of seems like the right thing to do. Okay, good. We got a full hand now. That's good. Got another counterspell. Alright, I'll pass back. Probably going to counter just about whatever they throw at us, and then, or hold up accumulated knowledge, so just see what they do here. Another Mesmeric Fiend. It's annoying for sure. Well, yeah, I think we're just going to counterspell it again. I know that seems weird, but yeah. Okay. Flooded strand. Okay. Pass back. Alright. Werebear. I tell you, if we can, oh, well, let's see. Impulse, sure. If we can hit a potential Armageddon, that could be very good for us. Just depends on what they're going to do next turn. I'm inclined to counterspell just about anything, but I mean, their deck is well built. It's got a bunch of low casting cost stuff, so. Got 5 cards in hand though, so they should have plenty to do. Swords to plowshares. Alright, we'll try to fight back. See if they have another swords to plowshares. Don't know. If they tap out for something that's not world breaking, then Armageddon could be pretty good. We'll see. Oh, meddling mage. Okay. Swords to plowshares. Okay. Sure. I think we're going to Armageddon because the 4/4 beats the 2/2, and okay. My creature's better than yours, and we're going to take it to the late game. We'll see how it goes. Oh man, I'm so happy. I was afraid that they were going to have something. Whew, boy. Okay, that's great. We'll get on to match 4 here in a minute. Okay, let's get into match 4 here. It's too bad we can't start on that mongoose. We got lands. We can draw a card with the ice. I just don't want it to get worse by mulliganing, so we'll do the fetch land thing here and see if that helps a little bit. We should be able to draw into our multicolor lands, I hope. This is where pre-modern's different than like modern. You know, normally I could crack this and go get a green source for the nimble mongoose, but not in pre-modern. Okay. Opponent's on blue also, so don't know that we'll be countering much of anything here, but we could have countered the op, I guess. Wow, that's okay. We'll pass. That's too bad. Opponent paused currently during upkeep. Okay. Oh my God, we're just being mocked. Oh man, that's so bad. All right, well, that's just a travesty. I don't know what to say. That's just horrible. I guess we shouldn't have kept. Didn't think we would be in this position, but frustrating. I think we're not sure what we're playing against, but what a joke. Wow. Talk about being punished. Good Lord. This is the Magic Gods telling me that, yeah, you should have mulligan, bro. I mean, 4 mangas? Are you serious? Without a green source? It's just stupid. Man, I swear. Appears that we're playing against, well, I don't know. This Underground River's throwing me off. Kind of seems like Illusions of Grandeur, but I'm not sure. Oh, Psychotog. Oh my God. Alright. Unreal. Opponent's kind of playing slow, so which makes it even harder because this hand is so bad. I just want to start over. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've had a hand like this. This is unreal. Another Sapphire Medallion. Okay. Hmm. Well, I mean, that helps a little bit. Okay. Gonna try to get this Mystic Enforcer down if we can. Okay. Pass back. Gonna have to count up the math here and see if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they can get up to 12 power. Oh, that's so frustrating. Look at that. I mean, how do we beat that hand? I don't really know how, so. Yeah, snap seems pretty good. Yep. So we're just dead, it appears. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep. That's rough, boy. Not real sure what to do. We're on the play, so that's an advantage. We could bring in 2 meddling mage, but I'm just not sure how good that is. I mean, engineered plague maybe against Hog, but you'd need 2 of them out there, so that doesn't seem very good. Phyrexian Furnace, I guess, just to kind of manage the graveyard a little bit, but doesn't seem very good though. Maybe a Winter Orb might be helpful. I just don't know. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't feel very good about this matchup at all. And this is just terrible, of course. I mean, we actually have good cards in hand and no mana. It's just not good. Yeah, we just cannot keep that. So, all right, well, we'll have to keep this. Putting back probably the accumulated knowledge, I believe. Just going to play the Phyrexian Furnace first. Then we'll Portent on turn 2. I don't know why the opponent's time takes so long, but some people have bad connections, I think. But it makes for a not as good watching experience for sure. All right. Phyrexian Furnace, pass turn. Yeah, not really sure what to say. I mean, we're 3 minutes ahead of them just because of these delays every single play. So the only thing I can think of is a bad connection. Wow, that's painful. What do we got? A lot of waiting, that's what we got. Well, sorry guys, I don't know why there's such a delay here. That's just unfortunate. Okay, next turn here. Got Portent. Okay, we do need a Nimble Mongoose to start things off. That looks good. So we'll go top, top, top. And then we won't use Portent's ability. Play Island to avoid Wasteland and pass. Okay. Nightscape Familiar. Blue spells and red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Regenerate this creature. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to Swords to Plowshares that based on the fact that it's given them a cost reducer, because I really want to save this for the ATOG, but at the same time I realize that that by the time they have it out, they're going to be able to protect it. So I think I'm probably going to Swords to Plowshare that thing. I really don't think he's blocking, but oh wow, that's a surprise. Okay. Didn't expect that, but okay. Huh. Oh, that's why. That makes it a lot simpler decision when you got a second one in hand. Sapphire Medallion. Okay. Okay, their costs are quite reduced. Counterspell. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to kill that thing. Doesn't have mana to regenerate, so... Not quite at threshold, but very close. Okay, let's go ahead and gush. So we can get that last card in the graveyard for the Mongoose. Winter Orb. Seems pretty good to me. We'll play a land, play the Winter Orb, and go to combat. Opponent wants to impulse. Excuse me. Okay. So we'll go top, top, and draw that one. Opponent's got a lot of mana. Okay. Alright, we will untap one land. It's a Werebear. It's actually pretty good to see. So we'll go ahead and play our land, go to combat. Play this Mox Diamond. Pass it back to the opponent. Factor Fiction. I kind of feel like I need to counter, at least try to counterspell that. I know we're going to be completely tapped down to the Winter Orb, but it's kind of important. If they got it, they got it. Sure. Oh, Frantic Search. Okay. All right, that's fine. It's pretty clear they take this up here, right? Let's try that. There's really no good answers. I gave them the counterspell so they can counterspell the werebear. Alright, well, we'll pass back. Everybody's tapped out. We have a creature, though, so that's good. They have reduced costs, though, so there is that. Okay, good deal. All right, well, Winter Orb definitely helped there. We got our creatures online. Seemed pretty good, so we're just going to run this back. Just don't think the Meddling Mage is helpful in this matchup. I could be wrong, but I'm complaining about the opponent taking so much time, but we've taken just as much time, so I guess I don't really have any place to talk. No lands, so we'll mulligan. 2 lands, and so we'll have to keep this, put back the Armageddon, and see what they got for us. Okay. I think we'll start on this Phyrexian Furnace again. Portent turn 2. It's got a Nightscape Familiar. Okay. Probably just going to kill that. Okay. I guess maybe we could have brought in the disenchants, but okay, so we'll keep this and we'll say top, top, top. Put in impulses. Deep analysis. Gosh, okay. Clouded Strand seems good. Let's go ahead and play Portent. Do you have to, this is a sorcery. Okay, so we'll make sure to get rid of that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think we'll go, let's see here. Top, 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 and then make sure we use the, whoops, make sure we use that, pass the turn. Opponent's got accumulated knowledge. I think we're gonna counterspell that. I don't really want to fetch though. Okay. Okay, there's the winter orb. I think we're just gonna wait a turn. I don't think we need to cast it right now. It hurts us more than it hurts them right now, so we'll just see where they're at, what they're gonna do here. Opponent's gonna cast Cunning Wish. Gonna attempt to counterspell that. Okay. Another medallion, okay. Man, I get tired of the damn factor fictions. Okay, so they have counterspell and opt. Boy, I tell you what, if there ever was a time we needed a land, that was it right there. Wow. Well, we can try to gush into a land, I guess. And the winter orb is going to be a little more effective here. Nimble Mongoose and Werebear. Okay. They're going to counterspell that. Okay. All right, pass back. It's too bad that got countered. That was kind of a big play there. Another Psychotog. All right. Well, we're going to attempt to Swords to Plowshare this, but if it doesn't work, then we're probably going to be in trouble. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so hopefully we can get these creatures down next turn, or at least one of them down. Okay. Well, we've done our best to counter everything they got, but I mean, they still have 2 cards in hand, and they got just all kinds of mana. So I don't really know what they have, but hopefully we can keep beating down here. Korean Dryad seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and go to combat. And I think we'll get the Werebear here. And we'll just save this Portent. I think we'll just fake having a counterspell. Not that that does anything, in my opinion, but... Frantic Search, okay. Dumping some lands. That's all he had in hand. That's interesting. Opponent really flooded. Accumulated Knowledge. It's pretty good. Impulse. Good lord. Now they're just cooking with grease. Deep Analysis. Okay. Man. Flashing it back. Wow. They are digging. They're up to 7 cards in hand, so they must have something here. This probably is the end. Wow, they're still looking. They got 5 cards in hand. What is going on over there? Another Medallion. Okay. Fact or Fiction. Get tired of seeing that card. They took Meditate and Opt. Okay. Well, they're obviously not getting a next turn, so we're either getting comboed out or something here, and I have to admit I'm not familiar with what it is, so it's not clear to me what to do. We do have an activation on this Phyrexian Furnace, but I need to know what to hit in the graveyard, and right now I don't know the answer to that question. Snap. Oh, okay, that's what they're doing. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that, so okay. Man, 10 cards in hand. Good lord. Accumulated Knowledge. If I grab this one, they still draw 2 cards. They have 9 cards in hand. I guess it doesn't matter. They only have 11 cards left in their library. The end's coming. I don't think we're going to be... I mean, I don't see any win con in his graveyard. So my lack of knowledge of the format might be hurting me right now because I don't really know what to look for. I mean, we've exiled 2 Psychotogs, so it's obviously not that. I mean, the storm count is at 14, so if he's got Brain Freeze, that could potentially do it. I'm assuming that's what we're building up to. So he's only got 2 cards left in his library. Here comes the brain freeze, I'm sure. 14 times 3 is 42. That'll do it. Well, that's too bad. Man, that's just unfortunate. Yeah. Well, we know what they're doing now, so... Oh, that was game 3. Didn't matter. Okay. Wow. That was not a fun match. Okay, let's get to match 5. All right, final match. Yeah, that last game was not fun to play. Playing against Brain Freeze. I mean, I felt like we were very close, but just no cigar. Not a great hand, but we're keeping it. See, we'll go top, top, top. We'll save the Swords to Plowshare for something better than that. I think Counterspell's on the top of our deck. We will Plowshare that, though. It's a cost reducer. We could try to get a land or just hold up the Counterspell. I think I prefer holding up the Counterspell. All right, pass back. And we can fetch up the plains. Goblin Matron. We're going to say no. Opponent's got a Fanatic. Okay. going to go get white for this Mystic Enforcer and hopefully top deck one of our lands. We could play that. Otherwise, we'll be using the Mental Note. Okay, accumulated knowledge, not bad. Alright, so we're going to try to get our land drop here. Okay, well, we would have loved to have had one of those. Oh, there's land drop. Okay, so we'll pass. Gonna take some damage here. Opponent's only got one card in hand though, so Rashad and Port. Okay. Well, that'll keep us a turn off the Mystic Enforcer, so unfortunately. He's going to do that now. Okay. Okay. Looks like we're going to be able to play this. Gem Palm Incinerator. Okay. Alright, let's get our creature down. It's 6/6 flying, protection from black, so hopefully it can help us out. Yeah, that's kind of annoying, actually. Okay. Guess we could play the second diamond and then get the next creature down, because we are going to attack. Time to start fighting back here. That way we'll have our green and our white. Hopefully they can't beat two of those things. Okay. Just throw them all at us, or what happened here? Oh, I thought that was an ETB effect. That's a tap. Okay. Wow, that was really strong then. Okay. So they've got 3, 5. Let me see here. 3, 5, 6 damage on board. This says it deals X damage to target creature and X damage to you, where X is the number of goblins on the battlefield. Okay, so I think this Armageddon might actually get us there. So we're going to go to combat. Okay, I actually did think about that, but we do have white mana, so it's going to be okay. Okay. All right. They can only do 6 points of damage to us, so that's not going to be enough. Okay, good. All right, game 2, we're going to have to bring in these cards and probably just those cards. So we'll take out, it's funny, the games that the Armageddons have been good have been games that they're not actually quote unquote good, but they were just good in that spot. So we're going to make room for these removal cards and try it like that. Okay, this looks pretty good. Seemed like they were mono red, so hopefully we can avoid getting duressed and get this engineered plague down. That would be pretty good. Oh, the lackey, okay. I didn't want to, subject this to a wasteland. But I kind of feel like we need to Swords to Plowshare the lackey. Otherwise, we could be in a lot of trouble if we don't. It's a risk for sure, because Wasteland kind of blows us out. And I should have waited to do that. That was a mistake. All right. Mox Diamond would be a great draw. That would allow us to get the Engineered Plague down and turn. Oh my god, of course they have the Wasteland. Of course. Yep. Always punished. Wow. Man. Rashad and Port, okay. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you have plowshared that lackey, or would you have tried to hold out and play the gemstone mine on turn 3 for the engineered plague? Maybe this was the better play. I mean, I don't know. I'm just always so scared of a siege gang commander coming at me. Oh, I should have dazed that. I was not thinking. God dang it. Oh man, that's not what we need. Okay, well that does not bode well. So we really need a gemstone mine or a city of brass to get this engineered plague down. It's kind of important. And yeah, we should have dazed this. That was just a mistake. I was talking and thinking about something else. Yeah, seems great. Now we're behind. Okay, well, we really need to see. Well, that's okay, but we still need to have. Sure. Pyroclasm's pretty good. Gonna need some mana. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, alright, well, hopefully we can... Man, this is so bad for us. Okay, we're gonna fade one... Next turn we have got to... We gotta do something. We have to get this plague down or this pyroclasm or something, so... Goblin Pile Driver is protection from blue. So, kind of feel like we need to counterspell that. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Well, I might just be dead. So, it's 5, 7, 9 points of damage. Yep, seems good. Okay, we have got to hit a gemstone mine. It's just absolutely critical. Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, that's probably going to end it for us there. Just not meant to be. Just not meant to be. Okay, well, we can plowshare the pile driver, but we're probably just dead, I'm sure. The chances of... Man, it's just too bad. God. None of those help, so we gotta put all those back. All right. If they have another goblin, then we're dead too. Man, I can't believe 2 engineered plagues in hand and we're gonna die. Oh my god, they have something. Oh man. Okay, we're at 1. They have no way to Rashad and Portis though, so we can get this Mox Diamond down and Engineered Plague, but it's still not going to be good enough because of the Goblin War Chief is a 2/2. We can Pyroclasm. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Let's hope they got nothing else. Just a lightning bolt and we're dead. Goblin Tinkerer, okay. Okay. All right, so problem here is that the Engineered Plague does help us. I guess they don't really have... Yeah, okay. Yes, we had that in our opening hand and we're not able to play it. So... We're just dead to lightning bolt, though. Oh, they blew up our Mox Diamond. Okay. Schadenport. Okay. All right. Couple of worthless flood strands. That's great. Well, looking back, I think that it was probably right to, oh, God, I swear, let the lackey live and play and get this, make sure this got down earlier. So, all right, I'll try it one last time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that we lost that game. We should have been able to win that. Okay, we're on the play. Hopefully that's going to help us get there. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to keep this. And Goblin Lackey or not, we're playing the City of Brass last and playing Engineered Plague. I see that they have naturalizes, but We can probably start on. Well, no, let's start on island and pass. Gotta have the double blue for counter spell. Always have it. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. But the risk of the wasteland is too great. I think I'm actually going to take the hit. And between Pyroclasm and Engineered Plague, certainly we can do some damage to these goblins. So. Okay, let's see what they got. Yeah, of course, it's always him. Okay, seems pretty good. Okay. Well, here's to hoping the City of Brass doesn't get... Yeah, I've got a Pyroclasm here. And as long as it doesn't get wastelanded, we can play the Plague next turn. And hopefully that'll be good enough. It's not clear that that will be good enough, but we can try. Always right on time. Always perfectly right on time. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That is helpful. That is helpful. Okay, let's do this. I mean, they've got the Karplusan for us, so they could very well have the Naturalize. All we can do is gush for a daze in response, but if we could fade it one turn, that would be nice. Never. Never, never, never. And we're having a really tough time here. Oh, we don't even have, it doesn't even matter. Okay. Wow. I guess I deserve to lose this game then. Just kind of been outplayed, really, to be honest. Just outplayed by the opponent. Okay. Yep, make sure to do that. We are just getting absolutely taken to the cleaners in this matchup. Man, for a minute it looked close, but they're just whooping us. Okay, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, this just could not be any worse. God, I swear this game is just—it's just too bad because our record should be better than it's going to be. It's going to be a 2-3, and that's just horrible, and it just shouldn't be, but it is. So, so painful. And I think that ends the game actually because they can just go 2-2, it's 4-5. I mean, we're just dead. Like, there's really nothing that can be done about it. Mm. Yeah, just all bad. Death. Man, I tell you what, I've been so disappointed in some Magic games, but this has got to be one of the worst. Just overall everything. League, the matchups, just so frustrating. Wow. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's really, 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 really hard to fight like that and to come up on a 2-3. It's, I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me what your experience is. What kind of games do you have? Like I said before, I mean, I'm a guy. I'm just a guy with a day job. I'm trying to play some Magic, and it's very difficult. Like the matchups are tough. The games are tough. They're long. They're mentally exhausting. They're tight. They're competitive. It's difficult. I mean, my God. And it's funny because like this will be the fifth or sixth, deck that I'm going to put up for videos, and I've probably played, well, at least 5 to 10 leagues outside of this, of what you guys see that I post, mostly because, and not just the leagues, but like tons of tournament practice games. I'm playing a lot. I'm really trying to get my mind around the format, my practice on the format, my familiarity. I'm really trying, and I'm still struggling. I mean, my God, 2-3. Ugh, I just can't tell you how painful that is. It's really, man, it's just so frustrating. I can't even, it's hard to describe. I've played so many games of Magic lately, you have no idea. But anyway, it is what it is, so that's what we were, 2-3. It was terrible. And unfortunately, this deck just wasn't good enough. I don't know what else to, like, I'm not a sugarcoater. I'm not one of those people that's going to say, oh, well, if we would have just done this or this matchup could have done. No, we were 2-3, period. End of story. That's it. We were 2-3. It's terrible. It's almost embarrassing to put it up on the internet and say, hey, here's a league, I was 2-3. Okay. If I'm going to try to talk about the positive side, there's not much, but the only thing I can say is it's more experience for me, so that's a good thing. The deck did some good things. There were some games that were kind of fun. Some good things happened. But at the end of the day, we had a losing record. And that just, I can't stand that. I hate losing. I mean, it's just hard because, like, I'm voluntarily playing this and playing different decks to try to, for two reasons, really. One reason is because I feel like different decks offers a variety for viewers to see, with the content. So that's one reason why I do it that way. The other reason is because it allows it. I'm still learning the format, and this is how I'm learning the format. Playing a bunch of different decks and playing against a bunch of different decks. And it's funny because I've been playing an absolute crap ton of Premodern. I mean, this doesn't show everything I've played, and I'm surprised at the variety and the tense matches and the counterplays and the wide range of things. It just, I sit down and I see something and learn something new every single time I play. So anyway, I don't want to make this a long diatribe on me over here crying, but I did want to thank everybody for tuning in and sticking with me as I learn through this. It's a painful process. There's comments, and stuff, and I get it. It's okay. Yeah, make the comments. Whatever. Yeah, you suck, or you made a wrong play here. What were you thinking? Yeah, go ahead. It's fine. Like I said, I'm learning. I'm learning the format. I'm learning how to play Magic again. I hadn't played in a long time because I was sick of it. I played a lot of draft. I started playing computer CRPG games, and I just was off Magic for a long time. Now that I'm back and I'm trying to grind leagues, it's hard. I don't know what else to say. It's just hard. It's very hard. But all that being said, I'm committed. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep playing. There's going to be a lot of games you guys won't see that I'm playing offline, just gaining experience, learning, trying to find the right decks, practicing, etc. And when I put a deck up, when I play one for a league and put it on the internet, it's because I feel like it's good enough to at least watch and learn from. So this one will be up. I'm not going to, I'm going to post it, but I feel bad. I feel bad about it because I had a losing record, and it's super frustrating. But anyway, that's the deck. It's basically a 5-color threshold deck. It's got some cool ideas, some interesting things, but the biggest problem with this deck is the 5 colors. Now, 2 of the colors are in the sideboard because you have Engineered Plague and Pyroclasm, but when you bring these cards in for a matchup, those are critical cards to get down when you want to get them down. Like, they're super important. And when you have to fiddle around with your mana and not get these down in time, it's devastating. So the biggest, like I said, the biggest problem with this deck is just the too many colors. I know there's some other 5-color decks out there in Premodern that have the full complement of like 4 cities and 4 gemstones and other things going on. This deck here probably should stick to the 3 colors, and then maybe adjust the sideboard to reflect those 3 colors. Like, this has red, so this is actually 4 colors main with the 5th color in the sideboard. So I would say that if I was going to redo this deck, it would be something along the lines of not having the fire ice, finding something else for that spot. Make it more of a blue-green with white for the swords and the Armageddons, and that stuff's fine. Disenchant, and then change up the sideboard. That's just what I would do. Again, this deck here, like I've said before, this is exploring mtgdecks.net, so we are exploring. This is one of the decks that I discovered that was a tournament-winning deck at a small tournament somewhere out there. It might have been 13 people or 20 people, or let's see, there was 31 players in February. So I don't remember where. I didn't actually put that in my notes, but that's part of the interest for me and honestly it's a challenge for me too, to try to play the decks and try to test my piloting skills. I make a lot of mistakes when you do that, when you're playing different decks all the time. I've played Magic for a long time, and I'm just telling you, the best way to play it if you're going to play competitively is to play one or two decks or focus on one deck for a period of time until you master it. That's just how you should play. Obviously, that's not what I'm doing here. I am working towards that eventually, but I do want to explore the format using this methodology with multiple decks and different, a lot of variety. The downside is there's going to be some 2-3s. I mean, unfortunately, it's just tough. It's just hard to play perfect and to know everything that they're playing and to all the right moves. It's just hard. So from that perspective, it's just going to take some time to do that. There's going to be some growing pains, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully I'm not too much of a bummer on this. I'm just frustrated because I like to win. I like to play. I like to win. And this has been hard for me. So that being said, I'm going to keep bringing more content. I'm going to try to do it every week if I can. And I appreciate you guys tuning in, and thanks for hanging with me even through the thick and the thin. I promise I will get better. I will become more familiar. And over time, most likely I'll probably settle into like a few decks that I'll play more often, like my favorite type of archetypes. But for now, I'm still trying to get the breadth and width of the Premodern format, and I want to experience the cards in play. I want to play the games. I want to play the leagues. I want the tough games. I do play in the tournament practice for just that, for practice, but it's not till you play in the leagues where it's really more higher competition. And even the leagues, I've heard people say, are like the lowest bar of competition. The challenges and stuff's really where you want to be. Well, I'm not anywhere near that, but I'm just trying to learn the format and learn some decks and do that. So if you guys like the content, great. Please stay with me. Like I said, you can learn with me every week as I fumble through and try to get these decks and play them well. And hopefully you guys like the content. If you do, appreciate you guys sticking around, and the new subscribers that I have, welcome aboard. Happy to see you guys here, and we're going to keep moving forward. So keep the comments coming and stuff. I like it. I read them all, and thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video. Appreciate it.